And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changeling the Lost. Yes, Changeling the Lost.
That is correct.
I was like, my brain was trying to substitute dreaming in there. I was like, that's the wrong Changeling.
That is very much the wrong Changeling.
The Lost.
There isn't even one elf in this in this game.
You prove I'm not an elf.
Yes. Because we hear what you are at the start of every session.
Oh. This is spoiled by the introduction.
Although I'm still not convinced that you are not a true Fae who has just forgotten that they are true Fae.
Oh.
But as always, I am William
That's a twist.
Shani, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition Chronicle. And joining me today, we have Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Cassandra Scott, the Elemental Polychromatic.
And Austin.
Hello, I'm Austin, and I'm playing freaking Lisa. I almost said Card, who's a different anthropomorphic cat. I don't think an anthropomorphic cat with problems.
Yeah, you always play an anthropomorphic cat with problems.
I'm sensing a pattern.
Sometimes I'm an anthropomorphic fox.
With problems.
Or another anthropomorphic animal.
With problems.
With problems.
Always.
I feel like the with problems is the more common thread than the anthropomorphic part because vampire.
Well, to be fair, there wasn't an option.
My point stands. Also,
no, you can make an argument for Bruja.
I was gonna say,
Gangrel,
if you gangrel frenzy enough, you could be a furry.
Hell, you can just Protean 4, I think it is, and you can literally just turn into a wolf.
I always flip the gangrel and the Bruja in my head. But
easy mistake.
Kindred the Embrace certainly did it.
Fuck. And Katie.
Deep cut.
What?
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I'm distracted. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, the Elemental Notary.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Jax Montgomery or Marlene Dubois, who is a Ferris Chatelaine.
And we do not have Drevian, who plays Frisian, the
Darkling Hunterheart.
Darkling Hunterheart, thank you. They will hopefully join us next time. But as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich.
Fuck Vince McMahon.
Always and every time.
Always, forever.
And when last we left off, the group had been infiltrating a house to commit some murders.
As you do.
That infiltration had encountered
Gone perfectly without flaw.
Encountered a few hitches, not the least of which was the return of one of their motley mates.
No flaws.
Keep telling yourself that.
The situation that we found ourselves in at the end of that session involved the returned motley mate having their hand taped to a person who had been stabbed in the throat.
Oh, that's fucking right!
I forgot about that!
As a method of trying to both staunch the bleeding and keep them in place, while the human compatriot who had been involved was also staying there to perform medical assistance on this human being to keep them from outright dying.
Question: does this human being taste feel the fur of my hands, or does the mask cover even that?
The mask covers literally everything.
Okay.
The mask will cover for dramatic differences in height. Like it covers everything. A human
Not-
being who does not have the ability to see, who does not have a form of second sight, cannot perceive anything covered by the mask.
With
not
any
gonna
sense.
lie, for a second there, I thought you were asking how the human you are take to tastes.
No, I'm not a vampire. And even when I am a vampire, I don't eat people.
You don't have to be a vampire to enjoy the taste of human flesh.
But I do have to be a monster.
Do you see
Which
my
I'm not-
expression right now?
I'm not saying I'm not a monster. I'm a different kind of monster.
Yeah, the one that pest control deals with.
Fair.
Ah, we're a happy group.
We get along so well.
Long. It never fights.
Look,
with Frank / Lisa tied up literally, and with Tyr also performing medical assistance on this individual. The rest of the group made their way up the stairs to the final floor, where the individuals of this group of fetches are sleeping for the night.
for now.
I mean, they're going to keep sleeping, just in a more eternal sense.
Joe, you have identified which of the 4 rooms on this floor is your husband's.
A 2.4.
So we pick up there.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I don't think it's pertinent to knock.
No, generally not.
I am going to ever so slowly open the door to see into the room.
Roll me dexterity and stealth.
Here we go. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. Dexterity. Oh, hey, look at that.
2 successes.
It's not a 0.
So you very cautiously and quietly step up to the door that you know you're looking for. Check it. It's not locked. Why would it be? These are residential doors on the inside of a very secure building. And slowly turn the handle and gently adjust the door open, making sure not to let it swing too hard or too fast so it doesn't creak, and making sure not to allow any light into the room. And you see a bundled up figure facing away from you, laying under blankets.
Okay, so facing away from me, do I have a clear shot of any body part, namely the neck?
I mean, you have the back of their head to you, basically.
Okay. But like they're not all like covered.
No, they're not covered completely, but they have the blanket like up to the neck, like pulled up tight to the chin kind of thing, and they're facing away. So you got the back of a head of black hair.
So they're conveniently covered up, like everything, like up to here, right?
Pretty much. The kind of
You
thing where
s-
you feel like sleeping and it's kind of cold because it's the middle of autumn. End of
You've
autumn.
seen this movie before. Come on.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. Why am I blanking?
Not this specific movie, but this specific kind of scene.
Okay.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Or any number of scenes where somebody sneaks in and is about to stab either the protagonist or it's the protagonist about to stab their big villain in a situation that will not lead to a giant knockout down drag out fight.
Nothing bad will happen. Everything will be fine.
None of this is making me feel better.
It shouldn't. That's not the goal.
You really do not want me to have an easy kill, do you?
Listen, I didn't set up this situation.
I
You can
should
blame
say
the
that
person in the middle of the overlay for that.
I was gonna say Cassandra did head to the fourth floor.
Look, the person in the middle of the overlay offered to have everyone in this building die in their sleep of frostbite, but you didn't take that option.
Yes, I know I'm an idiot. Add it to the list.
No, this is the correct choice because then you're not sure if they got away.
And I know precious little about killing people.
Probably a good thing.
Good.
For
I'd
the
be concerned but not surprised if you had said otherwise.
Listen, I've seen a lot of horror movies, but I've never killed anyone personally.
yet.
That you know of.
That can be proven.
I'm trying to think. Do I slice through the blankets? Or do I go for the back of the... Because the back of the skull is pretty thick.
Temple, soft spot.
Oh, that is a soft spot, isn't it? But that's still the skull, though.
How big is your knife?
Like, how deep is your love?
Well, that parody needs to happen now.
I really need to love.
I'm just saying.
Somebody else gave it. I can't. What kind of was it? Like a Bowie knife?
I believe it was.
I believe it was described as that's not a knife, that's a knife.
Okay.
That'll be a Bowie knife.
It's still a softer spot in the skull, and there is a whole ass canal there, ear.
Oh,
There's a lot of arterial bleeding.
I've seen a lot of horror films.
what you
Through the ear is one of the weirder horror kills.
I mean, usually it's with like an ice pick or a screwdriver or
I've seen it
something
with
like that.
I've seen it with a pencil.
Pencil is real good.
I am going to go with
Base of the skull is also good because there's no real protection.
right back here.
Like right at the base of the skull.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go
Because
with.
there's a kind of necessary hole for the brainstem to go up into. And even if you don't get that correct angle, you're still probably severing the spine.
That's it. So I'm gonna go for the soft spot at the. I don't know why I'm demonstrating at the back of the skull, like right here. So best case scenario, I get brain. Worst case scenario, I sever spine.
Roll me dexterity and stealth.
If they're asleep, confirm who it is first, because it might be like a servant or something.
That's a good point. Before I roll dexterity and stealth.
I mean, you have to get closer, which will
You have to get
will
close
entail
to 'em
your
regardless.
Dexterity and stealth.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll still roll that. Don't let my luck disappear now, please. Not great. Not bad.
One is still a success.
It is.
So I'm gonna double check and make sure it's actually the fetch before
You-
I stab the skull.
Yeah, as you approach and get a sort of higher angle, you see sort of the side of the face that appears to be asleep, and yes, you can confirm that it is your husband's human face.
This is messed up on so many levels. Maybe just the one.
Now you back up and go for the back of the head so you don't have to see their face as you do it.
So
Or stab him in the front. Maybe you want to see his face. I don't know. I don't kink shame.
I'm gonna go for the back of the soft spot on the back of the head. Like right here at the top of the neck, where the skull connects to the neck.
Make me an attack with your knife. You're going to be at a -2 for this.
Oh shit.
Does she get any benefit from the fact? Oh, he's just gonna get defense dice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where's now I'm gonna ask a really stupid question. Attack roll. Oh hi. You said -2? -2?
I believe that was what.
Am I not audible on the mic? Yes.
No,
-2.
you're not. No. I didn't hear you.
-2, yes.
Okay. Well, here goes something.
You can't spend willpower. He gave you +3, which would make it overall a +1.
I know it says Glock. It's meant to be knife. I didn't change it.
Let me check and make sure that that's the same dice pool real quick.
I forgot to add gun. Or excuse me, I forgot to add knife.
I believe knife is just +1 damage.
Okay.
But that would be looks like that is the same dice pool though. So
Okay. It would be the same type.
it would be it's your weaponry skill and your firearm skill and your strength and your dex are identical.
Okay.
So it would be the same dice pool regardless.
Gotcha.
The only
Okay.
difference would be the damage value of the weapon, which is already accounted for on the way the thing rolls. So it would just be 2 damage.
Okay.
So
Oh god.
you bring your arm back and thrust forward to try and stab at the sensitive spot at the base of the head. And in a very swift motion, the upper arm of this individual, who seems like they were sleeping until a moment ago, shoots out and forcibly deflects the majority of that blow off of the side, and the blade just sort of grazes the side of their cheek as it cuts a pretty vicious gash across the side of their face. But averts what would have been a lethal blow as they rapidly sort of roll over in the bed and sort of come to like a half crouched position on the opposite side of the bed from you, seemingly having been aware that something was wrong and trying to play asleep until something happened.
I see.
You hear a similar noise of people moving from all of the other rooms. Well, 2 of the 3 other rooms. 1 is empty.
Is anybody else on the 4th floor with me?
Cassandra is.
Would she be in a position if they come out of their rooms, would she be in a position to see?
I mean, she's on the 4th floor. It's a pretty open floor, so yes.
Okay.
I believe also Jackson is also here.
I believe so.
Cassandra is going to see the open one, assume that that's going to be where Joe is, then pick one of the other doors.
So, Cassandra, you walk into a different door and just quietly open it. I'm not even gonna make you roll stealth at this point because you open it and you can see that the woman on the other side of the door is already awake and has already rolled out of bed, still in her like nightgown, and has grabbed a knife from the drawer next to her. And we're gonna roll some initiative.
Oh God. Okay then. Let's do
Are
this.
all of us rolling initiative?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well, even if you're gonna be kind of down there tending to a body.
Well, I'm done with my bit. I just have to get my hand free of the duct tape.
Yeah. Yes, your furred hand.
Yes.
Couldn't have worked out better.
Jackson's feeling pretty good about that.
Okay. Jackson. Sandra. Frank. And James's fetch. Also, Arbor's fetch. And Mr. Arbor's fetch.
So when it says James, is that the fetch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just using James's character sheet because they share a lot of stats.
Right. No, makes sense. I was just checking.
Frank has 16. Sandra has 10. Jackson has 10. Joe has 7. All right, well, Frank, you're up first.
Oh God.
Sorry?
Just
For
the
bringing cat
immediate
because she was
reaction.
being harassing. I mean, at this point, I don't know anything wrong is wrong, but we've got the guy out, so I'm freeing my hand as quickly as is reasonable.
You're fairly thoroughly duct taped down and your hand is covered in fur. Are you just trying to rip your hand out, or are you trying to be delicate about this?
I'm trying to cut the tape so I can get my hand in a fold, so it's going to be quick, but at least it's going to be a pull up instead of a pull out.
That's fair.
So, kind of in the middle. I got a claw. I can just, delicately cut without making the wound work, flip over, rip. Because there's no delicate way to do this.
So go ahead and roll me dexterity and crafts.
Okay.
Did you say crafts?
Yeah.
It tracks.
A success.
All right. So you're gonna need 5 successes before you can effectively get this cut done, because you're moving slow enough that you're trying to not injure this person further.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need to accumulate 5 over the course of however many rounds it takes.
Fair enough.
I'll give way too much fucks with these guys.
What?
Said y'all give way too many fucks about these guys. I know.
Next in line, Madame Arbor's fetch. Hey, what's your defense, Cassandra?
6.
Ow, that's gonna hurt. She's gonna put a willpower into this to try and minimize some of that.
And I have an armor of 2.
And we are going to put a willpower into this, which is not going to leave us with a lot, but it will put us with a thing. 2, 3. I go from putting a willpower into this gives us 2 dice to roll. Another chance roll. But that's a success. So, Cassandra, you're caught kind of off guard as this person was already awake and ready to confront you as you open the door. And so you aren't quite expecting her to very surprisingly effectively lift and shove her bed into you. And you are shoved between the wall that you had just managed to get into and the bed that she has pushed against you. You find yourself effectively pinned for a moment.
Okay.
That makes it Cassandra and Jackson, which one of you has the better initiative modifier?
The
Same initiative modifier.
You've got somebody directly in front of you. Go.
So,
Okay.
Cassandra, go.
I have to ask, is there a glass of water or anything in here?
There is a vase of water with some flowers in it on the opposite side of the room by the window.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to enact fake hunting. Fuck. Because I could have done that as a reflex.
No, fake hunting just lets you retain your defense even when being shot at.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, we're gonna use elemental fury. No, elemental weapon, sorry. I'd like to put a willpower into this if possible.
All right, good.
Okay. So
2 successes on elemental weapon. That is a contracted sword. Grabs a nearby element, such as water from a pond, shapes it into any archaic weapon of her choosing. For example, fiery gauntlets, enhanced brawl, frozen sword to wield in melee. Weapon has normal traits for its kind, to which the player can add any of the following: +1 weapon modifier per success spent, or decrease the initiative penalty by 1 per success spent, or extra range. To a maximum of 3 successes per option. You may mix and match successes among these options.
let's use both of the successes to get +1 modifier.
What are you making him into?
I would just standard throwing knife, and I would like it to go from the vase to into her.
Of note, you do have to touch the element.
Oh fuck. Okay. That is right.
Don't you carry a bottle of water on you for this specific occasion?
Yeah. This is Julia blanking, but she will unscrew that canteen at her side and draw the water out.
Still into a knife.
Mm-hmm. Which crap? I have to open the armory. That's right. I don't have the 2nd edition armory book.
Bring armor reloaded. Weaponry. Weapon catalog. You're looking for a knife?
Yeah, just your standard throwing knife.
we'll call roughly equivalent to a combat knife. So that'll be one. That'll be a one lethal weapon. So with your extra 2 spent, the damage value will be the modifier will be 3 rather than.
Okay. Let me see if I did this right. So why did I not give you fighting finesse? Strength, weaponry, strength and weaponry.
No, you didn't give yourself fighting finesse because your strength and your dexterity are equal.
Yeah. Okay. What happened there? No, it
just
lift.
Yeah, so it didn't even have to apply her defense, which she would have had.
Yep.
Yeah, so you reach down into the canteen and pull this knife and try and bring it up to strike at her, and she just sort of leans back and pushes a fist into the mattress, sort of forcibly create distance, and put your arms at an awkward angle. Jackson.
All right. So I'm out in the hallway, I believe. I only see. What exactly do I see at this point?
So at this point, you have seen Joe enter the room immediately on the left, and you have seen Cassandra enter the room immediately on the far right. There are 4 rooms: one immediate right and left, one far right and left. And you have heard a commotion start in the one on the left that Joe is in, and then another commotion on the room on the far right. And you hear a thump as something gets slammed into the wall in the room on the far right.
How loud has it been?
It thus far has only been the sounds of like stuff moving.
No
something getting
shouting,
slammed into
no
the wall.
yelling,
No
nothing like
yelling
that.
yet.
Even with the being stabbed.
Yeah, the fetch has been surprisingly quiet, even being cut open.
All right, I have one weapon and I'm not going to use it, so I stand in the hallway.
All right.
All I have is my gun.
Fair enough.
So I am standing guard waiting for something to happen. Holding action essentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's at that point that James's fetch reaches under the pillow of the bed and pulls out a handgun and points it at Joe.
Oh, here we go.
So he is going to attack with a pistol. Now, Joe, you have the Fey Cunning contract as well.
Okay.
So if you would like to not get shot,
Preferable.
You can spend 2 glamour, which will allow you to retain your defense even when being shot with guns for the scene.
Absolutely. I will spend that 2 glamour and I will use my fake gunning.
Now, your defense is normally 2. So this will subtract further. This will actually subtract that 2 from his attempt to shoot you. This is just a generic 9mm. Gun. Damage value is 2. He's at a -2 for your defense. And he misses. So shortly after you sort of draw your gun and just sort of sit ready in the hallway, Jackson, you hear the sound of a gunshot going off and a bit of the wall to your left splinter out as a missed shot that Joe you see coming, and just that bit of Fey essence in you just allows you to tilt to the side before it would come anywhere near you, as it just passes over your shoulder and into the wall behind you.
That might be a problem.
Yeah, that's a gunshot. Fortunately, it's on the very top floor.
Guns aren't quiet.
But they're not quiet, yeah. Too many more of those, and everyone in this building will be waking up.
So I'm going to turn my head, look at the wall, look back at him, and go, "You missed."
I won't next time. That makes it your turn, Joe.
From the hallway, less talking, more stabbing. The more you talk, the more shoot, the more people wake up.
I had to get one line, okay? Fine. So he is like sitting in a crouch, or is he like on his knees, or?
Yeah, he's like half crouched, using the bed as if it was cover.
Wait, so he's behind the bed?
He's on the other side of the bed from you. Like the bed is in the middle of the room. It's not like up against a wall.
Oh, okay.
Like the head of the bed is against one wall, but like the thrust of the bed is like in the middle of the room. And so he's on the opposite side of it from you.
Gotcha. Well, shit. He probably could dodge a knife, couldn't he?
If he's anything like your real husband,
then I lose my knife.
if you throw it, yeah. The upside is none of these people are wearing any armor.
Okay. Yeah,
I
but
didn't-
he can dodge. And I don't really want to throw my knife, because then that leaves me weaponless and him with 2 weapons.
You can jump the bed.
There's that. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the bed.
Yep. So you take away his cover, and you have leverage.
So he's on the opposite side of the bed. So now I'm on the bed.
Yes.
Okay. So am I at eye level with him, or am I looking?
You're like above eye level, like at this point, because he's like crouched behind the bed. He was trying to use it as cover. So if you are even crouched or standing on the bed, you are above his eye level.
Mm.
You are looming over him, as it were.
Let's see. It's got pretty damn good reflexes, though. That's the.
He does.
Because my first instinct is to go for the eye, but he can cover his eyes.
And trying to aim for a specific target imposes a further penalty for a called shot
Yeah.
versus just trying to stab.
I'm just gonna stab. I'm gonna stab something. I don't know what I'm gonna stab, but I'm gonna stab.
You're going to be at a -3 for his defense.
Oh shit. This is attack roll, I'm guessing,
Yes.
with a knife.
If you spend a willpower, you can cancel out the negative that his defense is affording.
Okay, I have 2 willpower left. I will spend 1 on that.
Mhm.
I need some more willpower. All right. So no 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 modifiers.
Yeah, if you're spending willpower, 0 modifier.
Okay. Okay. Stabbing. Damn it. I lost a willpower for this?
I mean, without that willpower, it could have been worse. It could have been a chance, and then you roll like a 1, and then you're dead.
Yeah, I was about to say, without that willpower, it would have been a chance die.
Did you spend a willpower? Because it looks like you only rolled 3 dice.
Yeah, that's why his defense is -3.
Gotcha.
So his defense and the willpower cancel each other.
Ugh.
That'll bring it to the fetch of one Mr. Arbor. Jackson, you were holding your turn.
Mm-hmm.
A man who looks a lot like James, but older and somewhat heavier set, in his night clothes, begins to leave the room on the far left with a shotgun in his hand.
Boom!
He gets no defense because you're shooting at him, and even if he is a fetch, he is not able to dodge bullets.
Good. Attack roll.
And he is in his night clothes.
Oh, come on. Wait, why is there a -1? It's a fucking gun. Is there a strength component?
I don't know. Did you put one on your gun?
I guess I did. I don't.
Yes, the Glock has a strength requirement of 2, apparently.
A Glock 17 is not a big gun. Children have handled them fine. Whatever.
Oh god.
Which is hilarious because the Ruger Mark II is a strength quality of 1, and a Walther PPK is a strength quality of 1.
Have I ever mentioned I fucking hate the New World of Darkness? All right, well, can't wait to get shot with a shotgun.
He could miss.
You absolutely could.
I mean, like father, like son?
Break action. It's only got a capacity of 2. He's rolling. It's also not that great of a shot. Do you also have Fey Cunning, and would you like to use it?
I do not, I am pretty sure. I do not.
All right. So you won't get any defense against this.
Nope, I will not.
That said, he's only got 4 dice to try and shoot you with, so. And gets 0 successes.
Well, so much for anybody being asleep at this point.
Oh yeah, the sound of a shotgun blast going off will definitely have woken up all the security.
Oh, god damn it.
We've had 2 pistols and a shotgun go off. Oh, speaking of which, I should.
Time for the oh shit button yet? No?
What's
Seriously,
the oh shit button?
The werewolves.
No.
and the dragon?
If possible, we don't want to massacre.
You
Yeah, but
don't want a massacre.
The security is woken up now.
They can be distracted.
By what? That's a bad question. Why did I ask you that question? I take back that question.
You know what? Actually, I changed my mind. This is panic button time. No, this is panic button time because either we kill all the security people or there is no. The whole cover plan is useless.
You have a point.
Jackson goes into his Spotify and puts on Kim Petrus's Massacre. He's been around for a bit. He's been listening to new stuff.
All right. Well, it's the top of the round. Frank, you heard a couple of gunshots and then a shotgun go off over the past few seconds.
Hands getting ripped out.
All right, just roll me strength and athletics just to rip your hand free. You need significantly fewer successes for this.
Well, that's 1 success.
That counts as 2, so you're at 3 right now. You need 1 more to just fully just yank your hand loose.
I'm going to look at what's his face?
Tyr, yeah.
Tyr. The bleeding is staunched, right?
Pretty much.
I look at him. Damage control, because you know what they'll do.
Yeah, I do.
I'll go up and help them. Ever seen a water heater explode? That makes a nice cover.
Yeah. So we're burning this building down then. Cool.
Oh no. Fine. I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to rip my hand out.
Also, I should go ahead and roll for actual, James, because it might be relevant. 10. Oh, look at that.
Does he have the same? Did he and his fetch have the same initiative?
No, his fetch has 11 actually. His fetch has 8. His fetch is slightly slower than him.
Ew.
All right, Madame Arbor's fetch, with you pinned against the wall, is going to try and stab at you, Cassandra. We'll give her a slightly better dice pool. What's your defense?
6.
All right, 6. Right, yes. She's got you in a pinned position, which will give her somewhat of an advantage. She will, however, spend another one of her willpower. We'll give her a few more dice to work with. 2 successes. With a knife's damage value of 1, that'll be 3 lethal damage as she sort of scores across you with a knife. Although let me double check how armor works in this edition. Because you're wearing armor, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da. Actions, here we are. Armor. Each point of general armor reduces the total damage taken by 1 point, starting with the most severe type of damage. And what's your general armor?
I have flak jacket 2-4.
So you will reduce that 3 lethal damage by 2, so you will take 1 lethal damage.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. That'll bring it over to its Tyr, who, having finished trying to keep up that individual from bleeding out, sort of stands up and goes around the corner to try and intercept any incoming security, and we'll be dealing with them for a minute. Jackson and Cassandra. And James, who isn't involved quite yet.
I mean, I'm gonna try to shoot again.
Mhm.
Hey, there's some damage.
Yep. We'll deal 3 damage to Mr. Arbor's fetch. He does not have as much stamina as his son.
I'm going to try to back up to get some distance between me and roaring death.
You gonna try and take cover on the stairwell?
Can you really take cover in any kind of situation like this? He's just going to step up.
I mean, you
I'm
can
just
try.
backing. I'm just backing up.
Mhm. Cassandra?
Cassandra didn't want to have to resort to this, but she's going to pull that sword off of her back. Was hoping we could do this with some knives and get the hell out of Dodge, but no.
Yeah, you've heard some
Alright.
gunshots behind you, including a shotgun going off.
Yeah, I'm not built for guns though. All right. So she's gonna whip out that sword and try and go in for an attack.
You would be at a minus 3 unless you want to spend a willpower on that.
Yeah, I'll spend the willpower.
All right. So you hit for 7 damage. She's not wearing any armor.
Is she wearing any being alive?
Technically, yes, because you don't immediately die when your bar fills with lethal. But not for long. As she is now bleeding out unconscious.
Did she drop the bed?
I mean, the bed is still leaned up against you, but you can just sort of push it over. Lands on top of her.
Exit the room and ready that sword again.
There's a dude with a shotgun in the hall.
All right, that's going to be our second target.
James is not involved. James is fetches though. He's going to try and he tries to sort of like circle around you while shooting at you to try and get to the door to get away from you. And is going to take a shot at you. You're at 9mm. You're at -2 still because Fey Cunning. Still misses. So he's mostly just trying to fire to keep you back from him at this point because he is not making anywhere near contact. And it is now your turn. But he is sort of circled around the bed to try and get to the side of the bed that the door is on at this point.
So is he near the door now, or
Yeah, he's about at the door at this point. If he had just sprinted for the door, he probably could have been out it, but because he was trying to move defensively and not like just let you get at him, he's not quite there yet.
I thought you said you weren't going to miss again.
He does not have a comeback for that.
I heard what you did to the other me.
I didn't do shit to you.
Cute. What is it about you that is so scared of me?
You came in here with a fucking knife.
Yeah, but what did my fetch do? What did the other me
You
do?
know what you're talking about.
The other me? What,
Got
you don't
into a
recognize
fucking
me?
car accident.
Really? That the story we're going with?
It was the woman I love. What the fuck else would it be?
Oh no.
Let me ask you this question. Did you mourn?
Of course I fucking mourned.
You have an odd way of showing it.
You're in here with a knife trying to stab me.
You know that never even acknowledged our marriage publicly? Never even grieved for the daughter-in-law of one of the most prominent families in Tennessee? that didn't
What do
warrant
you
at
know
least
about it?
dialing? Google, dumbass.
Yeah, because that's going to tell you everything.
More than you're telling me.
Excuse me if I'm not talkative with the person who's brandishing a knife at me.
So I get defensive when there's a gun involved.
Gee, I wonder why there's a gun. As he's backing up, it is your turn.
Okay. Can I pin him to the door?
You just aiming to try and hold him there, or are you trying to like impale him to the door? Those are two different roles.
Which you probably can't answer this question. But I'm going to ask it anyway. What would have a more successful chance of succeeding?
It's going to be much harder to try and pin him to the wall with a knife.
Then we're going to pin to the door so I can at least get proximity to his neck.
Roll me strength and athletics. This is going to be opposed by his.
Oh, shit. Well, this ought to be interesting.
At least you have dice. Like, it would have been a very significant minus to a knife attack to try and pin him to a wall.
Athletics and strength.
Yeah. He is. He might be strong and athletic, but he is not as strong and athletic as the real him. So he's going to be at a minus for this himself.
Okay.
Easy to beat too.
Yeah, that's a problem. See?
Yeah, so you shove forward and try and like press him against the wall, but he is big. He's not as big as your actual husband, because your actual husband's a dragon. But he is big enough to sort of like shove you off of him when you try and pin him up against the wall. Security goes. None of you hear what's going on over there. Mr. Arborstretch sees a person with a bloody sword step out of the room where his wife was just in, and levels the shotgun that way.
Is the sword still bloody?
The sword's an actual sword. It's not a water sword. The knife.
No. Is there still blood on it?
Yes. Until the fetch dies, they look human.
Okay, gotcha.
The fetch has a mask as well, which persists.
Gotcha.
Is this when I can use my fake hunting?
Yes, if you would like to spend that 2 glamour.
I would. What's the loophole?
You haven't challenged him to a duel.
No, I didn't.
You don't have to roll a thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Just you spend the 2 glamour
Yep.
and you have it
Yep.
for the scene. Which means he's rolling a chance die to try and shoot you.
I'm okay with this.
He does, however, get a single success out of it.
I was gonna say, how bad is his firearms considering the amount of damage bonus you get from a shotgun?
So the way that damage bonus works in 2nd edition is the damage bonus just applies extra damage if you hit. It doesn't make your chance to hit better.
I hate this system so much. The one thing that was legitimately not broken about New World of Darkness's system, they decided, you know what? Let's make that part more complex and confusing.
closer to old world in a way because it's kind of how old world.
It's not. It's not at all. I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah, because old world weapons are extra successes on a hit for their damage value.
Well, no. In old school, you roll your attack roll, and any extra successes add to what you roll for the damage roll.
Yeah.
This is again the one part that actually kind of works and is simplifies combat, which was legitimately the point. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant here. I'll stop. They made the one good part of New World of Darkness worse.
But that will be 5 damage. Reduce. What's the ballistic value of your armor is 4. It's 2/4. So you'll take 1 lethal damage because you're wearing a flak jacket.
Ow.
That was a lucky shot that he's never going to make again, especially because I don't think he's going to get a chance to shoot again. Frank.
I got to get my hand out.
All right, roll me 1 more strength and athletics.
Oh.
1 success was all you needed. You rip your hand free. An amount of fur comes off the back of your hand with it.
Stifle the grunt for all it matters. I think they need a hand upstairs. There's a lot of backup downstairs, right?
At least like half a dozen security guards, yes.
So the piping of this place is all frozen over, right? And you said it's kind of messed up and weak.
Yeah, because of what the Winter Court did.
How hard would it be to start ripping down piping?
It would be difficult because it is still metal that you're pulling apart with your bare hands, but it is doable. Unless you have a particular tool that might assist you with it.
I don't think singing at it's going to help.
No, probably not.
Tyr is doing something to distract the guards.
Yeah.
Let's go upstairs and see if we can stop shotgun shots from going off.
You head up the stairs and you immediately find yourself a few feet behind Jackson as person with shotgun across the hall is looking over at Cassandra.
Can I tackle this man?
Fuck.
Say again?
This is a fetch, right?
Yes.
Can I end this man?
With what?
My claws?
You are a distance away from him at this point.
Cool. I'm going to pounce him as soon as I can. Probably next turn, but
next turn, yeah. Next turn
they'll
you'll
be pouncing.
Yeah. You can get in his face this turn if you wanted to spend the rest of your action just running.
How hard is it to use a gun in melee?
You get to apply your defense even if you don't have fake hunting.
Also.
Sure, I'm going to run up right in his face. Run up. Hello, have you heard the good word of shooting people? That was supposed to be dramatic.
Sounds like a Lisa thing more than a Frank thing, but sure.
Yeah. Actually, I probably need to roll that check because there's shooting going on.
Yeah. Resolving composure. You have at least 3 successes there. I think you're in.
Okay.
You have a choice.
There's a little bit of Lisa bleeding through, but
yeah.
We're maintaining Frank fine.
Madam Arbor's fetch is bleeding out. Tyr is handling security. Jackson and Cassandra.
I just stand there gaping. I'm not going to shoot the person who's surrounded by two other people.
I mean, he's only surrounded by one person, one of which you don't really like.
The other person is engaged in melee combat with them.
No, so
Julie
Cassandra
just-
is in the door to Miss Arbor's room. He
Right.
fired the shotgun at her, but he is not adjacent to her. Frank is adjacent to him.
Okay. I need to.
I like how that changes things.
It does. It legitimately. I feel. God damn it! There's no morality thing for me to roll. I know what I'll roll. Oop. Oop. Good luck, Frank. Oh, do I? No, do I have negatives? There is somebody directly engaged in combat. with them.
I will say no because it would have just been if you had missed entirely, there would have been a chance to hit Frank.
He doesn't have cover or anything like that. Okay, fair enough.
Not particularly.
I mean, okay.
I'll be honest. If you had shot through Frank, it probably would still have hit him. Frank is not a very large bit of cover.
That's not that's fair. Okay.
But you will do 3 more damage to him and put him bleeding out on the ground.
So he's bleeding out.
And I am in the process, by the one shouted, I'm in the process of going downstairs because somebody needs to notify the panic button.
Cassandra's darting across the hall to help Joe.
Did you forget we have phones, Jackson?
I didn't say that. You're not a mind reader.
Fair. Fair. Frank is not, but Frank is worried while you're going downstairs.
So yeah, Cassandra, you cross to the other room and sort of shove it open just in time to see Frank's fetch immediately to your left and Joe standing on the bed.
You mean
James's fetch.
Fetch?
Or, sorry, James's fetch. Blur.
What does he have in his hands?
A pistol.
Oh, okay. We're gonna grapple.
Roll me strength and athletics.
Is this a
And
bad
close
idea?
fight is.
Probably. Do I care? Not really.
Beat 2.
Oh, this is probably a really bad idea. Okay, so strength, athletics.
You tie 2.
Okay.
So you are hindering his attempt to use the gun, but you have not actually stopped him from using it.
Well, I'm gonna say that's probably all I can do the rest of this turn.
The fetch is going to try and leave the room. Which means he's
Yeah,
gonna have to
I'd
try and
like-
work his way past you.
I was gonna say I would like to prevent that.
Roll me another athletics. He's very consistent on 2.
Okay. Can I spend a willpower on this?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
Oh my god.
4. Yeah, you absolutely stop him from getting past you.
So she just sort of like pins him to the wall by the throat. And just look over at Joe.
Whose turn it is now.
Thanks, sis. I'm no more witty comebacks, no glib comments. I am just going to stab.
Right. He's pinned to the wall. His defense has been reduced. You're only going to be at a -1 here because he's trying to deflect you basically with the gun in his hand.
Okay.
And you may spend willpower if you so desire.
I mean, I got one more. I might as well use it. Is strength and athletics?
No, it's your go to your attack roll for your knife.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Make sure you set this thing to attack roll rather than sheet roll again.
okay, attack roll. Spent a willpower. So no modifiers?
So +2.
Oh, +2. I like the plus. I like it a lot.
It's 4 more damage. He's looking very rough. Because that is 6 damage that has been done to him. He's not down yet, but he's looking pretty bad. Security is dealing with Tyr. Mr. Arbor's is bleeding out. Frank.
I didn't hear any gunshots.
Nope.
This guy's right in front of me, right?
The fetch that's
Yeah.
bleeding out? Yeah.
I might need this, I say, grabbing a shotgun as I run down the stairs. Jackson, where exactly are you going?
I will note this is a break action shotgun and he has fired both shells.
That's fine. Sometimes all you need to be doing is holding a shotgun.
Fair.
So I'm going to run down the stairs. Jackson, where are you going? I'm guessing Jackson does not answer.
We're in combat turn by turn, so I'm assuming it's not my answer.
It will be shortly, but yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. Frank is rushing up to you.
Yeah.
Asking where you're going.
In fact, it will be right now because Tyr's turn is not relevant right now.
Jackson just keeps going and just says, "You best back the fuck off, or you ain't gonna be walking anymore." And I am not kidding. I am not reading you. I am not anything. I am deadly fucking serious right now. That is a threat and a promise. And I'm just continuing to make my way down towards the front door where I assume the panic button is waiting.
You hear the sounds of shouting from downstairs and the occasional gunshot goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra.
I'm gonna keep holding on to to the fetch.
Would you like to try and affirm your grip and make sure that he's not able to move?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll me your athletics again. He's going to be at a yet further -1 because he is now in the injury zone.
Oh, come on.
He had 1 success. You have 2 successes. You have officially pinned this man. He no longer has defense. Speaking of which, it's his turn. He's going to try and break free, so roll that again as he tries to get away. And gets 0 successes, and you also get 0 successes, so nothing happens. It stays in its place. Joe.
I'm gonna stab him again.
He no longer has defense, so you're now to -0.
Like, do I have to
Yeah, just make the roll. You have no modifiers.
no modifiers? Okay, I was about to say that. I should know that.
That's 4 more damage. He is now bleeding out. As you drive the knife into his abdomen, and he sort of exhales a bit and goes limp.
Good fucking riddance.
Security, there's more activity from below. Mr. Arbor's fetch continues to bleed out. Frank.
So reasoning with Jackson is not going to happen.
We didn't have time to talk through our past issues before this happened.
No, we didn't.
Issues makes it sound so nice.
Look, we can euphemize. That's what we do.
You keep chasing after me, we're going to be euthanizing.
Where would the kitchen be?
Probably 1 floor down.
Is this one of those places where I can where it's like that grand atrium where I could flip over the railing and hop down a floor, or is it one of those ones where I have to go?
You could probably flip a railing, yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Try to get a floor down before Jackson.
All right, just roll me dexterity and athletics.
This would be amazing if it failed spectacularly.
I know, because you'll be falling too. You'll be falling.
It'd be
3 floors.
amazing no matter what.
No,
You made 1 success. It's a bit precarious, but you sort of hop the ledge and scramble down and get to the floor below.
it's not graceful, but it worked.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to find the kitchen.
Yeah, you start rummaging around looking for the kitchen. Madam Arbor Fetch's turn. Hey, Cassandra.
Yeah.
That blood on your sword is now mulch.
Okay.
I'm going to delete that turn from the initiative. Here. So as you're looking for the kitchen, Frank, you sort of look around and you see Tyr round a corner on the floor below you from the atrium view that you guys are flipping the rail, and you just sort of hear, "Over here, asshole!" and you just hear a heavy thump as he seems to throw something large and blunt and hit someone in the side of the head. Jackson and Cassandra.
Back downstairs, I assume. Actually, gonna pull out her cell phone and call Lily.
Put the call in. Lily picks up. Time to go.
Time to go.
You want us in there or ready to cover you?
Is there a roll that I can make that would tell me the most advantageous
Wits and
decision here?
intelligence.
Okay. One success.
Your husband is probably going to try and non-lethally deal with these guards, but there will be a certain point where he has to concede it's either kill them or die, and there's a lot more of them than there are of him.
Come in.
All right. Is up.
Fuck, there's a thing I'm forgetting.
Your husband didn't.
Oh, thank the gods. I really hope he took something to deal with delirium.
He knew this was a possibility. He took his antipsychotics before he went in the building.
I was like, what is he on, Valium or something? Beta blockers?
That's
Actually, probably on extremely high strength beta blockers.
Yes, probably. Something it's something that a hunter organization cooked up, so chemically who knows, but it is essentially
It's not good for you,
No,
whatever
certainly
it
not.
is.
Not long term, no.
It probably took a good couple months off the lifespan.
I mean, it'd take a lot more than a couple months off the lifespan if you got.
If you hit delirium
kill.
with a werewolf in front of you, yeah.
No, you just freak out and run away, or
try and shoot them.
maybe try and shoot them. If you're
Emphasis
at
on the try.
stupid levels of willpower. Which
Or
is
just-
different from 10. 10 is smart levels of willpower. It's like 7 or 8 somewhere in there is just like you go rampaging against them. It's the stupid level of willpower. Anyway,
So Tyr's level of willpower.
oh good.
You're not afraid, but you should be.
It's more when the fight or flight response becomes fight rather than
Yeah. You're afraid. You're just reacting to that fear with violence.
But yeah, so you hang up that phone call. You doing anything else with your turn? Starting to move downstairs.
Yeah.
All right, Jackson.
I'm going to wits and empathy Frank at the moment
Sure, go ahead and roll your wits and empathy.
because I feel like it's important for Jackson to know why Frank went down the stairs, because in current status, that was to cut Jackson off.
Fair.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong with that statement.
I'm shooting at Frank.
I will say that is a failure, not a dramatic failure.
Yes,
You
so
can make
I
it a
don't.
dramatic failure if you want.
Yeah, no, it's not a dramatic failure. It doesn't, because if it doesn't succeed, I have to go with what his assumptions are.
Yeah, like you only have your assumptions to go off
Yeah.
of.
He doesn't know, as
opposed
opposed to, yeah.
You have no idea. There is the obvious note that they did stop following you, as was the request.
That's the problem. Yes, it's stopping following, but it's also trying to cut someone off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different type of following.
I will say
Jackson is not in a healthy state of mind and understands that that if he hits, he is breaking an oath.
Yeah, I will say it's not going to be an easy
Understands
shot to make
but worse.
because they are hopping over a banister and
For
kicking
sure.
around it.
I'm probably not hitting.
So you will be at what your defense doesn't matter. You're just going to be at a -3. I'm going to say for this
Okay,
shit.
that is a chance roll. because apparently, if you're not at least an average adult strength, you can't effectively handle a Glock.
I don't fucking know, man.
Fucking unbelievable.
But you can handle a Walther.
But you can yeah, right?
I mean, I'm sure you have willpower.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's probably good.
You gotta, Jackson has been running off no willpower, like 4 glamour, not much sleep, and in a hostile situation right now, and hasn't had a chance to talk things through with Frank. This is just a whole ass recipe for disaster. And that's the one I succeed on. Wait, yeah, that's the one I succeed on against all fucking odds.
Frank, were you wearing any armor?
Hold on. Let me check. That's 3 damage.
Yeah.
I have 2 points of armor.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a vest.
Is it a flak vest or just the heavy clothing?
I think it's heavy. Because it's 2.
Oh no, you have 2-3.
What's 2-3 mean?
3 is the ballistic damage reduction. And
Oh.
This is a bullet coming at you. So you actually only take 1 point of bashing damage.
Do we get that ping of contract?
Yeah, actually,
I mean, I fired a gun with intent to do lethal damage, and it did some not lethal damage, but did some damage.
It did make contact.
Yeah.
So yeah, you feel the fraying of a contract.
That's unfortunate.
So a couple things. Frank is honestly a slight smirk.
Son of a bitch.
Feeling smug about it.
It's like it's that sort of like, it's not even an intentional smirk. It's just like I got him. This hurts, but it was worth it.
Yep.
Yeah. And everyone feels that pain, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone in the motley feels the blackening of a vine that is the sensation of a pledge being violated by one of its members.
It's funny is I feel like we didn't have many days left on Frank's either.
No, you see, Frank knows how to very, very carefully play around it. Also, I believe Lisa took the oath. How does that work?
You're the same person.
Body
You're the
is
same
body.
person.
Body. Okay, so it counts by the body, not by the mind. Okay. I've been slightly shot.
Yep.
Breaking. So
I'm looking on the breaking point thing.
Yeah, this is a breaking point.
Yeah.
So
Yep, 4 dice.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-die breaking point. And this is going to be. You have a strong emotional investment in this, so that's going to be a +2 modifier.
I think that's fair to say. All right. Just let me know what to roll.
Roll me 6 dice for this breaking point.
I mean, it's only one.
It's still a hit, though.
Yeah.
Would you like to make it an exceptional success for severe clarity damage for a beat?
I kind of do. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Take a beat, and then roll your weird.
Yep. Sheep roll. No, there's no width or empathy in this. It's what got me in trouble in the first place. Nope.
You somehow managed. I mean, that's actually no wait. That's still on chance die.
Oh, it's on chance. You're right. That's my bad. Still no.
Somehow you managed to avoid shaking your clarity, possibly because you didn't like this person to begin with.
I don't give a fuck.
However, there are other penalties here.
There absolutely are.
There are other what?
There are other penalties here.
But as far as you're concerned, worth it?
So, for one,
as far as me and Jackson are concerned, worth it.
The penalties are a little bit more nebulous in the second edition because it's more what feels appropriate. In this particular case, if any of your motley members are suffering any wound penalties, you will suffer all of those wound penalties up to a max of -3.
Dope.
As you feel the pain of your betrayed comrades. And
I
also
one of them.
You broke the oath with the motley.
No, that's fair. Just
and also, if you enter an action scene against a member of your former motley, you will suffer a -3 to your initiative.
No, that's totally fair.
Now, am I still bound in my oath to not harm him back?
No, the oath breaker has effectively been removed from the motley.
Yes.
At that moment, the rest of you are still bound to each other.
Correct.
But that one has been dropped out of the loop. And anyone who has the eye for it can read the broken oath in your weird until such time as it is forgiven. Cassandra. No, you already did your thing. That was Jackson after you.
Yeah.
James is about to be coming in alongside all of the werewolves.
He always wanted to be a werewolf deep down.
Dragon is cooler.
Dragon is cooler, but if he had to pick, he would take werewolf over trauma.
Also, could he be both? Dragon by day, wolf by night.
No.
I've seen furry art that says otherwise.
I'm also now just envisioning a Macaulay who's a were-dragon.
Why do you think people play it? They want to be dinosaurs and dragons.
Look, Scalies can like werewolves.
So the front door to this building breaks down as 5 masses of fur, claws, fangs, and fury come in, followed closely behind by a dragon. And that's where we're going to take our break. And remember, when you take our break, you take your break. So do whatever you need to do. Sit up, stretch your legs, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
We're back.
Welcome back. And as mentioned when we left off, the front door bursts open as Lily's pack of werewolves breaks their way in, with James following close behind. All of them appear to be in their full massive wolf-man hybrid forms that you have seen Lily take previously. All of them in various different shapes and appearances. Lily is very distinctive as the only one with that sort of like bright reddish orange fur. But all of them bust their way in. The mundane security guards immediately begin to panic just at the sight of them. And the every sound system in this building begins to go off at once as Lordy's Girls Go Chopping begins to play on all of the speakers.
I approve.
That's amazing.
But it is Joe, what are you up to as this happens?
So is he like about to be mulch, or does he need another stabbing?
I mean, you can finish him off now if you want to put paid to that, but he will bleed out if unattended.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him again.
He is unable to resist you. You apply a coup de grace. He dies. As you drive the knife through something important and vital, you find that you are no longer sawing through skin, but rather sackcloth. And the blood on your knife is now just bits of motor oil.
I'm satisfied.
As what looks to be a combination of oil, cloth, and a wick.
And a what?
A wick.
A wick.
This person seems to have been built like a cloth lantern.
Interesting. So she has a moment of satisfaction, and then she starts hearing the music.
Mhm.
Oh, it's the oh shit button. Cassandra, did you press the oh shit button?
May have pressed the oh shit button.
You wanna go watch a show? Not much to do up here.
Cassandra will just grab Joe's wrist and pull her downstairs.
So you all start going downstairs. At this point, I think the only initiative that matters are Frank and Jackson's. As the majority of you start walking down the stairs, and we'll cover what you see in a minute. Frank, what are you up to on your initiative?
That depends on how in control I am.
I mean, you did just get shot.
You did just get shot. As a changeling, you are not subject to delirium, so the werewolf's presence, while intimidating, is not preternaturally frightening to you.
Two successes. Yeah, okay. So the smirk is all Jackson is getting right now. I'm going for the kitchen.
in search of the kitchen. And you find it by the end of your turn.
Okay. Gas or electric?
Electric.
Darn.
Look, I may have shot someone, but at least I'm not trying to burn your new house down.
I can build another house.
Even if you kill all the guards, you have to explain the sudden absence of living people.
No, you don't.
I bet at
We
least
have a
one of-
plan. We have a plan in place for the people who live here. Security guards, burning them up doesn't help.
Presumably they're related to someone.
They're still missing.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can build another house. Don't protect the house.
yeah, from the bottom floor, you just hear Tyr shout, "Non-lethal if you can, please." And you the large, like almost golden and silverish furred werewolf of the group just sort of looks over. Relax. Kill no man. They'll be fine. Which the giant werewolf, massive teeth and claws saying relax is kind of oxymoronic. But the fact that Tyr is cogent enough to get that out is impressive. Because you can very much see that Tyr's hands are shaking as they keep themselves active and in control by dint of willpower and drugs. But that turn goes by. Jackson, what are you up to?
I mean, he's not advancing towards me, so I'm not shooting again. I didn't say I kill. I just said, I kind of did, but that's not the point. There is a much bigger problem at the moment. Or not really a problem, just things that might be in the way if I want to commit murder. And they're bigger than me, have bigger claws. And I don't want to get in that fight.
They're currently dealing with security.
That's true, but also I'm just standing on the at the staircase landing, watching it all go down.
Need to look at this.
Cassandra and Joe.
Casually pulling out a cigarette and lighting up.
Cassandra and Joe, what are you two up to?
I guess just watching my sister at work.
It is something to witness as she, among four other massive towering engines of destruction, rip their way through the lower floor of this building, grabbing and tossing security guards like rag dolls. Notably, they seem to be aiming to concuss more than rend the individuals that they are combating at the moment. There is an enormous labrys on the back of the sort of black and faintly white furred werewolf in the lead. She has not drawn it. She is using her bare hands to bludgeon guards into submission.
I'm gonna go see if I can find a utility room to see if they've got gas heating or gas, or any kind of gas in here.
You will eventually find the heating
I'm
room, which is
assuming
gas powered.
I have to go past the first floor to do that because I imagine it's first floor basement.
Yeah, it's in the basement.
As I walk by, I'm gonna nod at Tangle. Nice.
Yeah, Tangle's fur, it has that sort of like wild and knotted look that most wild animals who have not had their pelt meticulously maintained have. And they're like the bit of like that bramble circlet that she wears normally has like woven itself across her fur, and so there's this like pattern of like branches that are just woven throughout the her fur, which is just in general just like a brown wolf, just like deep dark gradients of brown.
It's gonna smell nice.
I like how it sounds like you just hit on a werewolf in
no.
Krynos.
And then if she glances over, he will wink at her and then carry on.
Oh, that's much better.
He was definitely hitting on a werewolf in Krynos.
Wow.
There have been weirder relationships in the world of darkness than that.
But yes, look for utility room.
Look, when you're immune to delirium, they're only a 7-foot tall murder machine.
Only.
Hey, not even necessarily a murder machine. They have the control to hold back.
Right. Keep telling yourself that.
I mean, no one's dead right now.
They might be going to the hospital with concussions, but
I mean, yeah, but not dead.
I feel like that's because we were we were fortunate enough, because we certainly weren't smart enough to think about it, to not
So the only reason they're not dead is because the comic writers said so.
pretty much.
The 7-foot tall werewolf strikes you with her claws, and you are
Napping.
mildly concussed. Yes.
I would put mildly.
To be fair, they're not using like the points of their claws. They're mostly using closed fists or like the back of the hand to strike.
It's blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go down to the utility room. Is it gas powered?
Yes, it is. It is a gas powered utilities.
Excellent.
But
once I get down there, I'm gonna give Tira a call.
you give Tyr a call. In this situation, we are at this point comfortably out of initiative. You give Tyr a call as this mess is being cleaned up upstairs, and the phone picks up, and you can hear the tension in Tyr's voice, but they are at the moment functional. As
Good news. They've got gas heating. Think we could undo a pipe enough to maybe cause some hallucinations from radon, work something out, maybe a spark causes a fire.
yeah, we can torch this place, and nobody's gonna believe these guards.
Well, they were hallucinating. Radon leak, right?
Yeah.
And if 3 bodies go missing, well, it's their fault that they didn't put fire exits and you have to cross the entire hall to get down.
Yeah.
Like, what was their plan in case of a fire?
Die.
Irresponsible, what can I tell you?
The building was not up to fire code.
Thankfully, James made it.
Yep.
Young legs can jump out a window.
All right, I'll be down there in a minute. I need to get away from this.
By the way, you see the brown one with the matted hair?
Yes, I see all of them. They're gonna haunt my dreams.
I mean,
Go fuck.
Is-
That's
Fair.
true. Like, we are talking about the lupus here, right?
Yeah, that's the lupus of the pack.
They're like 5 years old.
if that.
so we're maturity wise, we're about the same.
That doesn't make it right. That is very, very wrong.
How does that work age wise? Like,
I mean, they passed the Harkness test.
It's a
They are
we'll sort of gloss over that fact because yes, there is a certain level of maturity.
They are of maturity for their species, and they have the ability to consent. Thus, they passed the Harkness test.
Okay. That's
Yeah, that is pretty much accurate.
that's what yeah, that's all I'm looking for.
There are some who question that, to be fair, because we are talking about people who, for most of that maturity that they gained, were literally animals and had not gone through the first chain to gain sapience.
also realize that Frank
It's complex and weird.
is not trying to go to that extent. Anatomically, he doesn't even have those parts.
Okay,
Moving on
Yeah.
quickly.
it's fair enough. Not alleviating concerns that you are a true fae.
Oh shit.
But yeah,
Anyway,
Uh Joe is with Cassandra and trying to see all over all this melee is like, so where's my actual husband?
over here. He says, you look over and see the dragon sort of like ducking under one of Morgana's arms as she like manhandles a security guard.
Well, are you gonna do anything useful?
He thumbs over his shoulder at two unconscious security guards on the ground.
Oh, look at you.
I'm not as big and strong as any of these ladies are, but I can do stuff.
Can I just say it's good to see the real you, please?
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, because
The plus side is,
your fetch was trying to sweet talk me.
well, of course, you're absolutely gorgeous. If it was anything like me, it knows that.
Yeah, except for the part where they had me killed in a car accident.
There is that.
Kind of puts a damper on things.
Speaking of which, I do need. None of you actually killed the fetches except for Joe. Most of you just dealt lethal damage and walked away as they bled out.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe is the only one
Yes.
who needs to make a breaking point.
Okay, this should be fun.
You need to roll me 3 dice.
Okay.
Killing someone else's fetch is not as severe as killing a human,
I'm
or even
rolling.
killing your own fetch.
I'm rolling what now?
Just 3d10.
3d10. Okay.
3d10.
God, what's the?
You can use the simple roll on the character sheet.
My dog just scared the life out of me. Okay.
Yeah, the character sheet has a simple roll option.
Well, yeah. My scroll is just shit. 3.
Yep, there you go. There's one.
Would you like to make that an extreme success for a beat?
I don't believe I have. I do have one.
No. Would you like to make an extreme success and gain a beat?
Yes, I would.
All right, so you gain a beat. Roll me your weird.
Is that a sheet roll?
Yeah, sheet roll and then select the weird value, which is right under your clarity, and right above your glamour.
No modifiers.
No modifiers. Congratulations. You do not suffer any clarity damage.
Nope. Wasn't planning on it.
That should be what's relevant there. Yeah. Meanwhile, Tyr disappears into the basement while the werewolves clean up the rest of the security. The security does not stand a chance. They do not have silver bullets, and they're already in delirium.
Yay.
The after all of them are unconscious, the werewolves just sort of begin to gather them up and group them together for ease of carrying. And as Tyr is downstairs, Lily looks over to the group of you. So what are we doing with these lot?
I'm just here to help. I don't.
I mean, we're supposed to be humane
Decisions
about this,
are-
right?
Well, I believe we were looking at starting a fire, have them have conveniently escaped, call some emergency services, leave the phone ringing, they'll find it. GPS style as long as it's a cell phone. They come, pick them up. No, actually, James can do it because he will be the sole uninjured survivor. Unfortunately, the bodies of his parents will be too burned to be findable.
That paints a really bad image of James.
It does, actually.
That's why I was saying we can avoid burning the house down. Well, then we have to deal with the security. But was they even going to know at this point?
This point, not a lot, says Lily as she shifts back down into her humanoid form. When the delirium takes hold of a regular human's brain, they tend to treat everything that happened in the vicinity of it like a blur. They will have panicked and probably not really remember what went on, especially because not a lot of them had a chance to get a good look at you before we came in.
So we just leave everything as is.
And no one will ever believe him anyway.
We send we send them on their way. James sends them on their way. And we continue with the original plan. Mama and Papa go on a flight somewhere and they just never come back.
Yeah, that'll be probably better for the long term too.
That sounds right, and less likely to implicate my husband in a murder plot.
Yep. Maybe
And-
just to keep the security from questioning too much. Keep them on staff for a month or two.
Yeah, I can probably keep him around for just long enough to get rid of him.
Yep.
And the going with the flight plan also works on the off chance that they do actually show back up at some point.
Exactly.
True.
There's some horrible that I believe that was one of the reasons we had talked about it, because if there's something with that implies that they died, then
Them showing
it becomes
back
a
up
lot harder to explain if they do end up showing back up.
creates a problem.
All right. Well, I don't suppose any of you are good at making sure these folk don't die of a concussion. He said, looking over at the guards.
Nah.
Not my
I mean,
area.
I can do.
I mean, technically, if they are no longer alive, they cannot get concussions.
You're not wrong, but we're only going that way if. I don't think we're going that way. Anyway, yes, I can at least look them over, make sure they're good. I did this for many people back in the day. Here, I have medicine one.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me wits and medicine just to
Okay.
look over the guards.
By the way, to explain this whole what the fuck happened, I do suggest gas leak story. That
Oh, the
explains why they're all woozy and hit the head and shit.
Makes sense.
All right. Then I will go with that as I talk to them. If any of them are conscious as I attend.
Are we gonna cut a gas line?
No, they don't. There doesn't have to actually be a gas line cut.
I just didn't know if they would look for something like that.
These people don't care. We're sending these people. James is going to be kind enough to send these people home because they just know went to medical thing with gas line and shit. And then who's going to check?
Makes sense.
One success.
Most of them aren't in any kind of critical condition. They should be fine. Some of them might experience like short-term issues from the light concussion. As long as they don't make it worse, they should be fine.
The people
One
who
of
have
them-
concussions, I will wake up
Yeah.
because that is bad to be asleep when you have a concussion.
It sort of depends on how concussed they are. If they're able
Of
to hold a
course.
conversation and don't have obvious debilitating symptoms, then they can probably
Yeah, then they're absolutely they're probably fine at that point. But it's all like that's the kind of thing you don't take chances with.
Yeah. There is one of them who is in more severe condition than the others.
How severe?
probably needs medical attention or might end up in a coma.
No shit, we're gonna have to get him. How? Like, what wounds is he suffering from?
It looks like when he got knocked flat, he accidentally collided with something metal.
Okay, so it's not like he has nobody. It wasn't like an incidental claw mark. It's something that can be explained by falling over in the middle of a
It looks like he fell and hit something hard.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna have to get this one to a hospital. Is it?
Sadie, the one with the hoodie, shifts back into their human form. I might be able to do something about that. One sec. As she sort of sits down and crosses her legs in front of the one that you're talking about. And she sort of closes her eyes and begins to mutter under her breath. I'm gonna make a roll. Nope. Oh, spirits aren't being kind today. We may actually have to get this guy to a hospital.
It's fine. It's not anything we can't explain away by the whole gas incident.
Should James be the one to take him?
Yes,
I mean, it is his house.
absolutely. James recognized the incident, was able to get out of the house at the appropriate before anybody else. Tried to get everybody else out, but they had been affected by the gas. You called me because you know that I have some experience in first aid. We determined that this man needs to be.
Guy needs medical attention. Yeah.
Medical
Correct.
attention.
So I will get him to a hospital, I guess, says James as he picks up and hauls the unconscious security.
One
guard.
thing. Everybody else should be fine. They're leaving under their own power. We actually need to get some gas in this man's lungs. The hospital will check for that. Not enough to be lethal, obviously, not enough to do any actual damage. Turn on this.
Hang on. I think I can handle that one, James says.
Yeah. Turn on, I know your stove, probably not your stove, but turn on something that emits gas. Leave them
Just
next
turn
to
the
it.
pilot light off on the water heater.
That'll work. Leave them next to it for about 20 seconds. That'll get enough that there is some residue. That's not the term I'm looking for, but you know what I'm.
James will bring him down and subject him to a minor gas leak.
Yeah, residual effects, symptoms.
Brings him back up. All right, I'm gonna go drive this man to a hospital. The rest of you, I don't know, do whatever with the rest of your night.
For sure.
Should I go with you?
Maybe hold off on that one because as far as the public identity goes, you and I aren't a known item right now.
Right. Yeah.
We'll fix that as quickly as we can, but
No, understood. Sorry, it's just kind of hard to let you out of my sight right now.
I get it. It's hard for me to leave you for me to leave you as well. But at the moment, we need to make sure this goes off without a hitch. Speaking of which, if anyone can fix that door, he says, indicating the front doors that got broken down.
I am not a carpenter.
I'll take a look. Looking at the door, it's kind of heavy. Pointing over at Tangle, could you give me a hand holding the door up?
Oh, jeez.
He shrugs and walks over and like she's still in Krynos form, so she just haps the door.
All right. Is this a crafts check?
Roll me dexterity and crafts.
Oh my god.
Thirsty little bitch.
A success.
It's shoddy and probably needs more professional work done later, but you can at least put the doors back in the frame.
Cool. Yeah, it'll keep the chill out.
All right.
Time to get the hell out of Dodge.
At least for us, says Lily. I don't know about the rest of you, but we should get going.
Thank you for your help. We couldn't have done it without you.
Any one of our packmates calls someone friends, then we are friends.
Good to know.
All right, we'll get going, especially so that your husband can stop panicking. Lily says to Cassandra.
As a matter of fact, where are we going?
Back to the mansion, I guess.
Frank's gonna look at Jackson and raise an eyebrow.
Fuck no.
Well, most of us.
Fair enough. We'll talk later. Look over at the pack. Got room for a hanger on? I got some drama to avoid.
Oh,
Yeah, how's that gonna go?
Morgana sort of like looks over her shoulder at you, and looks over at the rest of the pack. The rest of them seem like non-committal or don't have any objections.
If no one objects, Frank's is gonna go with them.
All right. Come along, Whiskers.
Frank will smile, and Frank knows when it is best to gain friends by not talking much.
Really?
Lisa doesn't.
Hmm.
The wolf pack heads out with Frank in tow. After they have all either shifted back to humanoid forms or have left, Tyr takes a minute to breathe and visibly stops shaking.
Cassandra will just sort of glide over to her and wrap her arm around his shoulder.
Good.
Look at me.
I like looking at you.
You're cute when you're drugged. Sweetie, are you okay?
I will be. The Chiron eggheads recommend not taking more than 3 doses of that within the span of a month, so I should lay off for a while.
It might be time for you to step back for a little bit.
Maybe.
Joe is going to come up to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that was a cat.
I thought somebody started talking. Joe is going to come up to Tyr and just hold her hand out and say, "We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you."
She'll take your hand. Well, you probably could have gotten along just fine.
I mean, you saw what just fine looked like.
Hmm. I
I'm trying to say thankful, you idiot. Just take it.
appreciate it.
All right. I'm sorry for calling your spouse an idiot. She'll say to Cassandra.
You can don't apologize. She's an idiot. I am too. But I mean, right now she's a little she's on the happy pills.
Take another one of those.
How many have you had this month?
3. I'm at the limit.
Yeah, you can't take any more.
Yeah.
Let's not.
I don't know who these Chiron people are, but anybody who names themselves after the ferryman of the underworld, I wouldn't take more than one thing that they say. Is okay to take. We'll not test any limits with them.
Good point.
Okay, so who's, for lack of a better word, sober enough to drive?
I can drive perfectly fine.
Not my driving that's impaired.
You sure you don't want to measure out the house first for drapes?
I want to get the fuck out of here.
I mean, all right. Let's go.
And to be honest with you,
Are we putting this on the market?
maybe.
It is
Just doesn't feel like-
horribly not up to fire code, says Tyr.
It just doesn't feel like home. It feels like an office. I want a home.
All right. We can put a. Who gives a shit about fire code? There are people we can bribe to deal with that.
Rich people, I swear to God.
Listen, we're going to be selling it to a rich person anyway. Whoever's going to be buying it's going to be this building is probably going to be used for highly illegal activities in some capacity. It's fine. It's just the way it is. Come on, let's go.
Please.
Oh, by the way, I shot Frank.
Yeah, we want to talk about that.
How yeah, I kind of felt that. Did you get it out of your system now?
If he learns to listen to the fucking words that come out of my mouth, then yes. I was going down the stairs because I was going to hit the panic button. Fortunately, that was already handled. I turn around and see the man who tried to trap me in the hedge running at me with a shotgun.
Listen. I'm not blaming you for shooting him. All I asked was, did you get it out of your system?
Well, see, here's the funny thing about that.
You want to shoot him more?
No. I'm perfectly content to leave this as I lay as long as he has learned his lesson because, well, I'm sure this is going to come back and bite me in the ass in many, many ways. Do you want to know what the one advantage of that is?
What's that?
I can only get bit in the ass by it once. Changeling double jeopardy, bitches. So from this point forward, if he behaves himself, and we will see how that goes after any conversation that may or may not take place, then everything will be fine. If he tried to do that shit to me again and trap me in a...
Popcorn.
I mean, that's fair. You can do that. But if he tries to trap me in a place that I am not comfortable being, I no longer have the compunction to avoid doing damage to him to get out of it. But I have no current desire to harm him.
I would love to find a fireplace and a blanket.
Good news, we have both of those back at my place.
A hot drink,
We have plenty of that too.
and a grilled cheese sandwich.
We may have cheese. I know we have bread. We may have cheese.
Uh,
And I just,
I'm rich. You can have whatever you want.
I want to stare at, that's
We
all.
are all rich now.
Literally, all three of you are rich at this point, or at least are married to someone who is rich. In Joe's-
Functionally means you're rich.
yeah.
Well, until I'm acknowledged officially. Yeah, she's a little bit sore about that.
Oh, James is too.
Very, very much. Hence the need for a blanket and a fireplace and a book and a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yep,
And a,
let's go get all that handled for you. Then.
You are James's husband. You're James's wife. You could immediately tell the instant that James had to say that to you that he was as mad about it as you were.
wasn't saying he wasn't. But that's
Yeah,
that's another issue. And frankly, we dealt with a bigger one today.
legit.
The other one's easy.
But yeah, get everybody in the car. Head back.
So you all make your way back to the mansion. The gates open, and you make your way back inside. Tyr immediately walks over to the kitchen and pours himself a shot of whiskey.
Yep. I get a nice fire set up, chair in front of it, blanket. The whole works.
Joe is just gonna eat her sandwich and read her book and stare at the fire. And not really say anything to anybody at the moment.
Yep. Where does Cassandra go?
I think she's gonna look at Tyr after we make sure everybody is like okay. And do you want to like? What time is it?
It was midnight when you started the job, so it's about like 1:30 in the morning.
Do you? I think we're probably staying for the night.
Probably.
Just finish that bottle. Cassandra's probably gonna go find probably one of the spare rooms that like probably one of the other sitting rooms to just have some quiet time to decompress after all the shit that just happened.
And I am very sorry because I go find Cassandra.
Okay. Jackson.
Hey. So Joe's busy doing, understandably, not doing anything. She has a lot to do after all this. Frizzing is being frizzing. So I gotta talk it over. What are we doing next?
Not the question I thought you were gonna ask, but
Okay, now I gotta know. What did you think I was gonna ask?
you want me to be real honest?
Yeah.
I'm back from Arcadia. I had my spouse and my kids
Uh-huh.
and my memories. I could just walk off and live. I know that she won't. I know she won't, but I could walk away from all this.
You could. Are you gonna?
No.
All right. Don't do that. That scared me there for a second. Well, and that brings us back to the original question.
Well, we're kind of up a creek without a paddle right now. We don't really have any direction to go, but what I can say is that I know personally I have some icons that I'd like to retrieve.
All right.
Which means I'm going to be doing some hedge diving.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might check out they called it a goblin market.
Right.
I just know, I mean, all the pieces that I've been able to recover have been great. And I know I want all of my memories back, but I am worried about when the ugly ones are going to start rearing their head.
You know, I get that. But, I mean, that's still you. I think I think it is important to find those as it is to find the good ones.
I mean, life is made out of the good things and the bad. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, that's where I want to start heading is looking for icons. I don't really know what anybody else wants to do or where we go from here.
We kind of have sort of, with the exception of Frizzing, but I get the impression that Frizzing does not want to push things much further in terms of reclaiming a spot here. I mean, it'd be impossible for him to reclaim the spot that he had because obviously. So I guess we need to figure out what's next for us as a group.
I feel like we need to. I feel like taking the night, celebrating the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a good idea. Let everybody lick their wounds.
For sure.
And then in the morning we can really discuss whether we keeping Frank or not. And I'd like to know everything that's really gone on between the two of you.
I don't think there's too. I think I've been pretty open about everything that's going on between us.
Then I need to find and talk to Frank or Lisa.
Listen,
Probably Frank.
I am not the biggest fan. That is the nicest way that I can put that. But, and I know this sounds crazy, most, not all, but most, what I've done is legitimately trying to help it. And if you can stop doing things like what happened most recently with us, not including tonight, I may not forget, but I am willing to set things past. He's not going to be a house guest here anytime soon. But
I think it might be a good idea for all of us to do family dinner. Not here.
not here. The next time that person steps inside this house, unless something very significant changes, I will be armed and I will not be shooting to wound.
I can't promise you everything's gonna be fine.
Of course not. I would not suggest otherwise. I've lived through far enough of life to know that such things are nonsense. Nice words that we sometimes have to tell people to get them through things. I think we get us set as a group. We get us back on stable ground as a group, whatever that may mean. If you ask me, I think it might be good for us to get. We've been using the freehold, but we haven't been really part of the freehold. It might be good to do some stuff there, especially if we want to do things like reclaim
Icons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's all think about going down and spend some time with the Dollywood changelings.
Sounds good. Anyway, I just somebody, some among us should take more. Yes, we celebrate, we relax, we decompress, we pretend we didn't commit murder. I mean, we didn't commit murder. We killed things that aren't real, but and then, but be good to know where we are going once we all wake up. I'm gonna let you guys, you alone. You need anything, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think it's really big of you to, with obvious apprehension, you are willing to put some things aside for Frank.
I mean, again, that is assumed. I am saying this. I will be perfectly honest with you. I am saying this fully expecting that Frank is going to be the fucking useless cunt that he is, and say something that makes it very clear that this hasn't changed anything. I am about 85% secure in that knowledge. But on that 15% chance that we actually hit that mark, if I don't have anything to fear from him, then that's all I'm worried about.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do. Yep.
Go.
Yep.
Go relax.
Yeah. And I will go.
With that,
Sorry.
that's where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.